Wax's podcast, talking mad shit about uninteresting facts. Wax's podcast, listen to it every Wednesday. What up, y'all? I come to you with Wax's podcast, episode 13, and maybe it's fitting that the word 13 starts with the syllable thir, because for the first time on this podcast, I come to you on a Thursday morning. And I come to you on a Thursday morning in shame. I come to you on a Thursday morning like a dog with a tail between its leg, his tail or her tail, depending on what gender the dog is. God damn, I kind of just woke up and turned the microphone on, so that's why I have that like guy who smokes cigarettes that just woke up voice. That's another reason I gotta quit smoking. I don't want to get that voice that fucking smoker people get, where like they're not even smoking and you just hear them say a couple words and like, oh, you're a smoker. Like the fucking Simpsons aunts, Selma and Patty, I think was their names. That wasn't supposed to be an impression of them. That was just kind of like an impression of somebody who smokes. God damn, I got this mic hot right now. Guess I'll just have to leave it though. Anyway, I did do some recording of the podcast yesterday. I actually recorded a conversation, a call someone and fuck with them segment with the one and only Melissa Soria, who starred in my video Rosanna and who starred in the video I just put out this morning, Toothbrush. I did an interview with her over the phone, and I did some recording while my boys Casey and AK, who are my homies in Intense Imagination, were here. We tried to record the podcast last night, but it just didn't really work out, man. AK was kind of not feeling it, and we were kind of busy doing some other shit. So I did get some of that. I probably got like 10 minutes or so of that, and then I got me talking right now. Then I got Melissa, and then I'll probably answer some of you guys' questions too. But, I'm feeling good. I just put out this video, Toothbrush, today. I put out an announcement that I'm dropping my album. Let me just talk directly to the people that actually fucking listen to this dumb podcast right now. First of all, shout out to my homie that I've never met, Raul Justice. Raul Justice, little Easter egg. Well, it's not an Easter egg anymore because I'm telling you where to find it. But a little Easter egg for the podcast listeners in the credits of the Toothbrush video. Frank Hernandez, my fucking homie who played in this video and in the Rosanna video too, is like the quiet, awkward Hispanic guitar player. We were looking for a name for him last night when Casey was doing the credits. He was like, what should we call Frank? He should have a character name. And immediately I was like, oh, that's Raul Justice. There's a new fucking sheriff in town. He's coming to Boyle Heights. He's coming to East LA, and he's fucking not accepting gang violence. He's not saying shit. He's just bringing his guitar and his mustache, and if fucking people get a line, he fucking smashes that classical guitar over people's heads. So we decided to name Raul Justice. I would fucking like to do a whole movie about Raul Justice. I think that shit could be crazy if it was like a Pootie Tang. It'd almost be like, for lack of a better fucking word, just to be stereotypical and fucking racist, like it'd just be like the Hispanic version of Pootie Tang. But yeah, so we put out the video. It's a really fucking even for me, it's a pretty fucking like goofy video. Like it's really not very serious. So I like to delve into comedy kinda, and I like to just fucking talk about shit that happens to me and just kind of fucking shed light on how life can be funny. So that's why a lot of my shit ends up being kind of humorous and funny. But it's not like everything on my album and shit is not going to be a fucking a joke song. Although there's a couple of them, but it's not like every song on there is going to be like that. So don't think that. Some people already hating, saying that I sold out and all this shit, but hey, if your goal is to please everybody, and this is for anybody that's in any kind of entertainment business, all the people that hit me up like getting advice and shit, or that maybe they're dealing with haters online and shit like that. If your goal is to please everybody, you will never ever succeed. The bigger and better you get at doing your thing, you'll actually have more people that don't like it. And if you're me, it's kind of tricky too, because I do so much different shit. Like I don't have like there's people out there that are kind of set in their style they have their own ways, whereas I kind of fucking bounce all over the place, which is cool because it makes it more fun for me. It's like, you know, and this is just a random example I thought of off the top of my head, but you know how often Wiz Khalifa gets calls? Wiz Khalifa gets a call from somebody's manager or whatever, like, oh, we got this perfect collab for Wiz. The song's called Rollin' Blunts. Yo, and then another person, yo, we got this perfect collab for Wiz. The song is called Rollin' Papers, Let's Get Stoned. Yo, we got a perfect collab for Wiz. This one's called Put Some Trees in the Blunt. Yo, we got a perfect collab for Wiz. This one's called Smoke That Shit in the Bong. But yeah, like, you know, people put you into the box, so that kind of sucks. You know, some people have, and I didn't mean Wiz Khalifa, I just meant the way people perceive him, not like that he's actually like one-dimensional or whatever. I'm just saying that it's cool for me that I just fucking get to do whatever I want. But the problem with that is, as far as the way people view me, no matter what I put out, the most common thing that somebody, as far as negative comments, the most common thing that people say is like, I miss the old wax. And like, if you really look back, like, there really is no like old wax. It's only what's in your head that you perceive. You know, like, if your favorite thing that I've done is like is New Crack, and then I put out something that's like a happy acoustic song, you're gonna say, I miss the old wax, I miss the New Crack wax. But I could say, in reality, like, I got videos on YouTube that are older than New Crack that are just like the new ones I put out. So like, there's really, just like that, you know, if that was a hypothetical thing. If I had put out a new happy acoustic song, I could point back and say, well, there's not really justification to saying that. But anyway, I'm not gonna fucking get on that topic. Get on that ba-boo-dee, ba-boo-da. I'm gonna get off that for a second. Damn, it's kind of overcast outside. Even when it's fucking overcast and not sunny out here, like, there's still fucking palm trees everywhere. Like, that's what's crazy about California, man. You can roll through the hood and there's still palm trees. Like, you've seen Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. I mean, Friday is even the best example. Like, even like the neighborhoods out here that are known as being bad, they still got fucking palm trees, man. But you know, so that's what's going on with me. Anything else going on? I took a trip down to San Diego this week because my parents were in town. My mom and my dad, Arlene, Fred. I don't know if I should be fucking saying their names on this shit, but it's okay. And you know what? The only thing that I can remember from that trip is we were talking about potty training because my brother's oldest son, Max, is going through that. And my mom dropped a gem on me, my brother's wife, yes, and my dad. She dropped a gem on us like she was a fucking doctor. She said, well, make sure that his feet are touching the ground. And it's kind of like, wait a second, this kid's pretty small, that he has his own little potty or whatever. I don't know about kids. But she's like, make sure he has his feet on the ground. We were like, okay, why would you say that? So my mom proceeded to say that it's actually like medically impossible. She said you can't take a shit unless your feet are touching the ground. And I was astounded by this. I can't believe my mom is as old as she is, and she's been carrying around this piece of information with her for God knows how long, because she couldn't name who told it to her or when she knew it from. She couldn't give any research to back up the claim. But she said that she's thought that since she's a little kid, she's been walking around with this tidbit of information thinking that it was truth. Now, I'm actually kind of like sitting in that position right now, and I'm imagining that I know that I could fucking make my like sphincter muscles or whatever muscles there are that you take a shit with. I know I could do it, but like how would that even make sense? How does your contact with the floor by your feet? Why would that matter? I don't know. Like, if you had a toilet that could somehow be raised just like a barber chair was raised, and then your feet were all of a sudden dangling, like, what does that touching the floor with your feet have to do with anything? Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that my mom carries around that piece of information with her. And what else is going on? Dropped a video. Been busy working on this album, man. January 15th. I'm sorry to podcast listeners. I know I told you guys 12, 12, 12. But it is now officially January 15th that I'm dropping my new album. It's called Continue. I just got to finish like the last 2 songs, and I'll be done. So I'm pretty much going to be done with the actual music this week or next week. And maybe if I randomly fucking make something cool in the next month, I'll put that on there too. But the reason I had to push it back was it was for some other shit. It's hard to explain why I had to push it back. But it takes time to mix it. It takes time to duplicate the shit. It takes time to do all this shit, and we're gonna try to fucking build up some kind of hype for it or whatever. I don't know. But the point is that if it doesn't count, I mark my words. If the album doesn't come out on January 15th, it's either some kind of weird emergency hiccup, or if it's because of my own personal failure, I'm just gonna fucking jump off a building. I'm gonna record the podcast while jumping off a building. And having somebody videotape it for all you people that want to see the podcast videotape. That's where I'm going to start videotaping the podcast. The day that, on January 16th, when because of my own personal failures, I haven't put out the album yet, I'm going to tell my friend to get a camera. I'm going to fucking take a portable microphone, and that's going to be the first episode of the podcast and last episode of the podcast that I videotape, because I'm going to bring the fucking microphone to the top of that building in downtown Los Angeles where they fucking blew it up first with the spaceship in Independence Day. That building in downtown LA is the one that I'm going to fucking jump off and make history, because it's going to be the first time somebody ever jumped off a building while recording a podcast. And I don't know, maybe I'll just fake it. Maybe I'll fake it like the moon landing. Maybe. So anyway, yeah, that's what I got for y'all today. Go check out the video. It's on my YouTube, youtube.com/waxandherbaltea. I'm gonna play this snippet of me and Casey and AK talking last night. It's actually kind of interesting. It gives you some background on the video for all you guys that like making videos out there. And then I'm gonna also, right after that, a segment that I already recorded yesterday. This is definitely something you guys should listen to. This turned out really cool. It was I did a phone interview with Melissa, a.k.a. Rosanna. And then after that, I'm going to answer some questions. So I hope y'all are doing good. What the fuck was that? I apologize for the 2 intros on this podcast, but I just leave it as it is. Here's what I recorded yesterday with Casey and AK. What up, what up, what up, what up? This is Wax coming to you live with Wax's podcast, episode 13. You thought we wouldn't get to 13. You thought we'd melt at 12. I know this is coming to you late. Usually it comes to you Wednesday morning. I think this is actually going to be the first time that I actually missed the Wednesday. This is actually going to come out on Thursday. So all you people out there that want to talk shit about how I'm fucking up and I'm whatever, this is your fucking opportunity. This is your time to give me a good fucking body shot, a good shot to the ribs. I didn't fucking come out with a podcast this time on Wednesday. But I did come out with one, so I didn't totally fail. And this podcast is actually extra special, because I got some guests in the building with me. My man Casey Chan is in the building. That was supposed to be like a clap, even though I'm hitting my leg.
Thank you.
Casey Chan, video director extraordinaire. Directors of such videos that Wax did. I'm speaking about myself in the third person.
Yeah.
But, Relax. Dispensary Girl. Rosanna. And now, coming out tomorrow, which will probably be today for people listening to this, Toothbrush, which was a video about what? It was a video about a toothbrush.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you? I would say that it's kind of like about a symbol, rather. No, not a sign, like a sign. Both of those are wrong. A sign that the girl is moving in too fast.
That's what the song is about, yes.
A sign that I'm not going to get into anything personal. I'm not going to get into Casey's personal life, but
I don't care.
But I think Casey can relate to that song. I think a lot of dudes can relate to that song. The whole you're starting to date a girl, she starts to come over your house here and there, and all of a sudden her shit starts showing up at your house, and then all of a sudden in a blink of an eye, and when I say a blink of an eye, I mean metaphorically a few months. All of a sudden you turn around and you're like, holy fuck, this is her place.
Yeah.
So you can relate to that?
First-hand experience right here. I'm raising my hand.
Yeah. I don't want to get into too detailed shit, but Casey definitely had that happen. So
I had Hello Kitty stuff plastered everywhere in my room.
Do you care if we get into that just a tad bit?
I don't care.
Casey used to date a girl awesome girl, by the way.
She's
cool
cool.
girl.
She's cool.
girl.
She's a
Me and her,
homegirl now.
Yeah, me and her are cool, but she's one of those girls that's just like super, super into Hello Kitty, and and after a while, Casey's crib started to turn into this weird like haunted house, fucking not like carnival version of like a Hello Kitty house. Your toaster was Hello Kitty. Your lamp was Hello Kitty. Your pillow was Hello Kitty. Everything in your house kind of turned. It's kind of like the video, really.
It did. I mean, it wasn't so much as like it wasn't replacing anything I had. I didn't really have much to begin with. It was just added on top of whatever was there. And that's I didn't have a toaster before.
That's a fucking girl tactic. That's a tactic
yep.
girls do. Yeah,
Yep.
he doesn't have a toaster, so I can have a toaster I like.
I even had a Hello Kitty vacuum.
Holy shit!
I don't know if you ever saw that, but I had a.
I did not see that, but I'm impressed by the fact that they even made that. Like, it's like, remember the band Kiss?
Yeah.
And how they were known for having all the merchandise, like they had Kiss lunchboxes.
Yeah.
They even sold Kiss caskets. They sold Kiss caskets.
Caskets?
Like that your body
For
is fucking...
funerals and stuff.
But to sell a
That's
Hello
kinda-
Kitty
that's kinda
vacuum, like,
ironic.
it's like, just look around my room. Like, they could have Hello Kitty steak knives. They could have a Hello Kitty disco ball. People are like, why you got a disco ball?
Hello Kitty spatula I had too.
You had that.
I had, yeah.
And you thought of that because you looked at my kitchen.
Yes, I'm looking at your kitchen right now.
Damn.
But you know what though? I kind of self-inflicted on myself with all the Hello Kitty stuff too, because I kind of helped buy some of the Hello Kitty items that were.
See, that's what happened. See, and that's what the song's about, because the beginning of the relationship is always great, and you're like, oh, you know what? She really likes Hello Kitty. I think I'm gonna get her a Hello Kitty. Blah blah blah.
I don't sound like that. But.
I'm not. I didn't mean it like that. I meant like I was kind of like making fun of like the ignorance that you have at the beginning of a relationship because of that little sparks and the little fucking.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
All you're thinking about you're thinking about the immediate future. You're thinking about getting laid. You're not thinking about like fucking 6 months down the road, and you're like, fuck, get me out of here.
And you're still in the beginning. Like, first you're thinking about the first time, hoping you'll get laid.
Yeah.
And then if that works out, and the second and third time are pretty good too. Like the first, 50 times, you're like, damn, you're still excited about it. And then all of a sudden, it just becomes something different. You
want out. It's like you feel trapped.
I was telling a story that remember when I lived at that house in North Hollywood, like the house, like all the rooms and all that shit.
Yeah.
And Jess.
Yeah.
Jess is a singer, and she came over to my house to record some vocals. And this was right when I started dating this girl. And it was the first time she came to the house, and I showed her around. And like once we got to the studio room, which was the last room we went to, and we were gonna start working, she was like, "I didn't know you had a girlfriend." I was like, "How do you know?"
What?
It was like when I first started dating this chick, and she's like, "Dude, you have a pair of girls like high heel shoes in every room in this house." And like I went around and looked at it, I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like she had like marked her territory like a dog that pisses on places, like. And like I never noticed it, but as soon as a girl came in, she was like, "Oh, I see her work." Like they fucking know the traits.
How? And let me ask you this: how come you wrote a song about toothbrushes rather than high heels?
Well, that was just one of the things. That was just one of the things. The toothbrush was the first thing. I don't know.
Would high heels actually happen first prior to a toothbrush?
Well, first of all, I would say that story doesn't really... Like right now, since I live in a one-bedroom apartment now, down here in Venice, California, it's fucking... If she put a pair of high heels in each room now, it'd be like 2 pairs of high heels. But that was like a house. And you walk around it, in each corner, there's like her little fucking... her little mark, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Her little mark is in every corner,
Right.
I forgot what the question was.
Well, I just asked you if... how come you wrote about toothbrushes out of all items? Is that the first thing?
Yeah, and you know what? With the action, like the story, the song is the toothbrush, but you know what the actual story is she went to Target one day, and she got these matching collection of you can't see them, but it's like picture like a bathroom trash can, like a plastic green bathroom trash can, like you would get at Target. She got 2 of the trash cans, one like large cup, one like soap holder, like an actual like hand soap holder, and one like toothbrush cup that you put toothbrushes in. All these like matching little cups, you know. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck is this? I never told you to do this. She's like, I saw it look better. I saw it look cuter, you know. And I was just like, dude, I never asked you to do that. And it just made me think about the fact that, you know, you got to see the little signs. You know? AK, what are you doing back there? Can I introduce you to the podcast? We got my man AK in the house. AKA, well, Andrew Krasinski, AKA AK, is one of the most talented fucking genius motherfuckers I know. Wouldn't you agree with that, Casey?
I'd have to agree.
Pretty much every video that I've ever done, AK has fucking... How would you... Cinematographed? Cinematographed? If he's a cinematographer,
double penetration.
He did what to it? What would you say then?
Huh?
He double penetrated it?
Oh no, well, director of photography.
He directed the photography.
Yeah, he DP'd it.
AK, what are start running down some of the projects that me and you've done together? Because like now we're talking about shit Jay's done. Larry and Tina, music and liquor. Fast Lane Daily, anything, all the shit we named earlier.
Almost every single video of yours is it's gone through AK.
Almost, man. He's the founder of the term Intense Imagination. Yeah. By the way, that's what we are. That's our crew's name is Intense Imagination. Shout out to our boy Jay On, who's not here right now, but he's also a member of Intense Imagination. Shout out to the homie EOM, who is also he's like the fifth Beatle of Intense Imagination. Not that we're like the Beatles.
He's Billy Preston.
I'm not trying to say we're like the fucking Beatles. Look at you with your Beatles knowledge.
Billy Preston's the shit.
You're like a big Beatles fan, right?
Yeah.
How did you become a Beatles fan? Like, what put you on? Did your parents listen to Beatles?
Yeah, my dad's a big... Well, more so than the Beatles, he's a big Paul McCartney fan. And he was a big Beatles fan, but then I think he became an even bigger fan of Paul McCartney whenever he went solo in the 80s. And then he's a big fan of the Wings and all that kind of stuff. So
he's a big fan of Wings?
Yeah. Paul McCartney and the Wings. That's
kind of random. He was like, it almost sounds like a little girl who like is a fan of boy band, but she likes one the most. You know?
Yeah, kind of is. Except, I think it's more. I hope it's more about the music than
it probably is. Paul McCartney was a talented cat. George Harrison was a talented cat.
George Harrison, I like George Harrison.
He had a video in the '80s that they. I got my mindset on you. You know.
No.
That's cool that you know that. And by the way, Casey, you're a musician yourself, right? I say right because I'm acting like I don't know. But.
Yeah.
Casey is one of those. Casey is a very humble dude. He knows how to play guitar. He plays violin. He plays piano.
Took recorder for a year in fifth grade.
Hot cross buns. Play some hot cross buns.
A little star.
What are you doing over there, AK? You're making me nervous back there.
I'm just listening to y'all talk, man.
We're missing your voice, dude.
Yeah, man, we need you to get involved, bro.
We even pulled up a seat for you, and you're not even sitting in it.
I got something I got to chug on right now.
You got something you got to what? Chug on? Oh.
You walked right into your room.
What the fuck is he? I don't know. It's all good, man. AK, he's got an intense imagination. Who knows what he's doing? He's probably back there.
Planning out the next video.
So speaking of plans, what's your plan, Casey? You're a director. You're here in Hollywood. You're from Texas. You went to school at Full Sail in Orlando. Mm-hmm. And now you're here in Hollywood, living the dream. You're working for Just Kidding Films. Shout out to Just Kidding Films, by the way. I don't think they listen to this, but, shout out to them. They're the shit.
Anyways, yeah.
They're the shit. And you're doing you're doing what you love to do for a living. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think... AK's tripping me out. I wish this was like a video podcast, because... Oh, okay, you know what? I can't even explain what AK is doing right now. But anyways,
no one's taking a picture. What are you talking about?
I know you're taking a picture, but...
What's wrong with that?
What are you taking a picture of?
A doorknob.
No, it's everything. Everything right here.
A door.
AK's got the... You know what, AK got the new iPhone 5 and he thinks he's the shit. AK is one of those dudes, he got the fucking new iPhone 5 and now he thinks he's the shit. It is the shit though. I will give it to him. It is the shit.
You're the dude that's the hater because you wish you had that shit. You love that shit because you don't have it. You see, man, he was like, damn.
I told you.
That should be a commercial, putting them all together and now this motherfucker
I did say it should be a commercial. Brian Washington is my manager. He has the iPhone 4, and he put record. No, he just put it into camera mode and put AK's iPhone 5 into camera mode right next to each other, and that iPhone 5 fucking smoked it for real. That shit looked totally fucking legit. Legit, bro. It looks great. But what else is going on? So we got the toothbrush video came out today.
Toothbrush.
What do you think is I don't really have any other questions. Yeah, after that the conversation kind of went to shit, and there was a lot of awkward pauses. AK got really mad because every time I asked him a question, he would think it was some kind of biased question. I was putting him on the spot. And I don't give a shit if AK hears this because he doesn't like when I talk shit about him. But you know what? Maybe you should get your own fucking microphone and make your own podcast. AK, we can battle. But here's the segment that's probably the only segment worth listening to on this week's podcast. This is Call Someone and Fuck With Them with the one and only, the beautiful Melissa Soria. All right. Let me get this straight. We are recording. Let me get the questions in front of me. Let's call. All right. About to call Melissa, a.k.a. Rosanna. Have a little call someone and fuck with them. I'm not going to prank call her because she knows I'm calling, so it would be pointless. Well, let's see if she picks up. Hopefully she will.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey. What's up, Melissa?
Nothing much.
What are you up to?
Run some errands. I'm going to go shopping tonight, yeah.
Like shopping like the way a girl goes shopping at the mall, or like shopping at Target for like household needs?
Like shopping. I went to shopping for lingerie tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's the occasion?
On the occasion, I just like to get some lingerie every once in a while. Some new lingerie.
You do have a good amount. The videos we've done together, I've noticed that you have a pretty good collection already, but you're already trying to widen that collection, huh?
Yeah, to keep it new. You don't want to be wearing the same lingerie.
I understand. Now, is that strictly for yourself, or is that for somebody else?
It's for both. I do both, yeah. I do I'll get it for shoots and for my personal use and stuff like that.
So as I told you, I'm actually recording this now. It's kind of like an interview.
Yeah, I can tell.
Casual. Yeah, it sounds all crispy, right? But
totally putting me on the spot. I get to prepare.
Well, hey, I mean, you're already being a great interview. The first thing we're talking about is lingerie. I can only imagine what the people out there are thinking. Some of those people that leave you crazy YouTube comments and whatnot, their brains are going wild right now. So,
yeah, it's a hot topic.
So you have a boyfriend then, if you or maybe not a boyfriend, or you have somebody in your life that might like to see you in that lingerie, right?
Yeah. I do.
That might be upsetting. That might be upsetting for some people to hear, but he's a lucky man, and you can always just envision yourself as him. To the listeners out there.
Yeah, I like to wear lingerie. It's like in South wear lingerie, just to go out to wear it with a mini skirt or something like that, shorts and heels, and go out dancing. Right,
just in case something shows from under that little dress, it's got to look cute, right? You don't want to have some fucking some fucking I don't know, maybe Hello Kitty is cute to girls, but some Hello Kitty granny panties on under there.
No Hello Kitty.
So let me ask you a couple questions, Melissa, because everybody's interested. First, let me tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What got you started in the whole modeling thing? And what are some of the favorite things you've done while you've been in the modeling world?
Well, I am from the Central Valley, born and raised here. My aunt actually started to encourage me to get into modeling when I was a kid. Because I was really shy and I had low self-esteem as a teenager, normal teenager. But I was extremely shy, so my dad was like, "Yeah, you don't really get the look. Why don't you try to get into modeling?" So I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And then I took acting classes and modeling, and it really took me out of my shell. And from there, I just met photographers and started a portfolio, and then I started working for clients doing pageants and promotional work for them. And through them, I met a lot of different models and other people that, networking business people. But I would say my favorite experience is I liked working for Playboy. It was fun. Like, the sets were fun. The parties are wild and fun. But I don't try to go to those too much, but in increments.
Did you ever party at the Playboy Mansion?
Yeah, I did. I went to the Playboy Mansion. I met Hugh Hefner, and he's so cute and little. And, the women love him. The women absolutely love him. I don't know what that's about, but
now, did you have any type of sexual relationship with Hugh Hefner?
No way. He looks like so fragile. I mean, I know I'm really tiny, but I feel like I would break him.
No, I think you probably would. I think that's also a funny visual, by the way. You just kind of like on top of him, and his bones just start to break. I know.
Like, how does that work? I don't even want to think about it.
He's got to be like 90 something by now. But hey, I hope I'm like him when I'm 90. I don't know.
Well, wait till they see the video. Then that Hefner robe.
I do. So I do have a little Hugh Hefner thing going on in that. That's like Hugh Hefner. We're like, it's like the dentist, the dentist Hugh Hefner mix in that video.
Yeah, exactly.
That scene turned out really cool. That scene turned. By the way, everybody listening, I'm recording this the day before we put this video out. So Melissa has actually not seen the video yet. The video we're talking about is for Toothbrush. She stars in that video, and she also stars in the video Rosanna, which is actually my most viewed by a long shot video of all time. And I can't take the credit for that. I got to give you the credit. So everybody out there, give Melissa a big round of applause. So how did you feel? How was working on that video for you? And you don't have to kiss my ass. How was working on Rosanna? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, of course. I had so much fun with you and the whole crew. It was a lot of fun, and definitely something that I've never done before. I've never done any type of video footage, but I'm definitely interested now. And it was just so much fun. You guys are so funny and super chill.
Yeah, we had a good time. I think what we liked about you, because we've done videos before and worked with like girls that do videos, is like you're like the opposite of a diva. Like you were actually, when we did the scene where we're on the playground, like I was the one being a bitch about like people looking at us, and you were just like pretty much suck it up, pussy. It was cool.
Yeah. I remember that. You were like the little kids, though. I mean, I felt kind of bad. It was kind of weird doing that in front of the little kids walking around,
But they didn't know what we were doing. Their parents did. So, what was I going to ask you? Oh, so working with Playboy, like, what kind of stuff did you do with them? The people want to know. I mean, they're probably going to end up fucking looking for it, but I don't know if you care about that or not. But there's what kind of stuff did you do for them? Did you do pictures, videos?
Videos. I did a couple of videos. I believe I did trying to think, maybe 4 videos for them. Mm-hmm. Just me, like girl on girl or anything like that. Just solo. And then I've been in like a couple of their magazines. I believe it was I was in 5 of their magazines in 5 months. I can remember. I'm so mixed up. So I got me covered as Sexy Girls Next Door, and I actually just casted for Playmates. So hope we'll hear something back from.
I hope so. I hope you get it, because it seems like as time goes on, all the girls kind of have this same look where you actually have kind of something more interesting about you. You don't have these fucking huge fucking plastic boobs. You know what I'm saying? Like you have just like a natural sexy body, and I think that should be. I think that not even just for dudes. I think for girls, that should be showcased more. Granted, you're skinny. Yeah. Granted, you're skinny, and you're gonna make fat people become bulimics and shit like that. But but I'm just playing. So when you did those sets on Playboy, when they start telling you to take off your clothes and do whatever you do, like putting whipped cream on your nipples and stuff like that. When you first started doing that, was it uncomfortable? Did you feel like the jitters or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, first it's a nervous rush, but then once you start. The very first time I shot with it, I was kind of nervous, but it was so exciting, and the most uncomfortable thing was being naked and being spread out, full on spread out, or spread that in the air, and like they're spraying your air so like to make you look like you have like mist, water mist and stuff. And that was like the most fun because they're like right in there. They're like
Right.
powdering your area, and like that.
They had a person. They had a person.
Like,
That, they had a. You're saying they had a person that their job was to powder your vagina.
yeah, or spray it, or like do stuff like that. So that it's just like whatever. I'm just like, okay, they've been seeing me naked for like the past 5 hours. So
Right after a while, it's not a
whatever.
big deal. So, but you would say as far as the female body, probably the weirdest thing to have a bunch of people with cameras and fucking powder things look at is your actual vajayjay, as girls often say.
I think mine's not too bad looking, so I'm not like too terribly nervous about that. But
Can you describe the way it looks in detail? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just
No.
playing. I'm just playing. But so you never actually did anything where you had to do, well, like, Playboy isn't like that. Playboy isn't porn. So I was going to ask you if you did anything where you had other people involved in shit, but I know that Playboy is usually just the girls more elegant.
Yeah, no.
But they do ask you shit though. They ask you like what kind of sex you like and shit like that, right?
Oh yeah, you have like interviews and stuff like that, and which I've done. I've done a couple interviews for them too.
Oh, really?
So you talk about like what kind of what do you like in bed, and what kind of guys do you like, and like turn on, turn off, stuff like that.
So do they try to tell you what to say, or do you just give them the honest truth?
They'll like ask you like beforehand. They'll ask you, okay, I'm going to tell you this, so like think about what you're going to say. Yeah, and if like they don't like it, they'll be like, can you say something else? And so you have to think of something else to say. If it's not sexy enough, or it's too like spooky, like.
Right.
I had some weird answers. They're like, that's too weird. And I didn't do that.
Yeah. So what are some of those turn-ons? Not to be awkward, I know me and you are friends, but people out there listening, they want to know, since I brought it up, like, what are some of those turn-ons for you?
What are some of my what exactly?
Like sexual turn-ons.
Oh, sexual turn-ons. I just like doing it in places that are really like, I don't know, like me, I like having sex in like a cemetery at night. It's just like such a turn on to me. I think that's so weird, probably.
No, I don't think that's weird. I think that's cool. I've never done that before. Did you say that as one of your answers?
That's something that I haven't done that I want to do, yeah. Just because I'm like into like paranormal stuff like that. I'm such a nerd when it comes to like that. So like, I believe in all that. So
would you have sex with a ghost at a cemetery?
like Incubus? That's pretty bad.
You wouldn't really be able to feel it. You know, like ghosts can pass right through you. I don't know if you could actually feel the penetration from a ghost. I don't know. I'm not a ghost scientist, so.
I've read about that. Like people have actually been like raped by ghosts and stuff.
That's
weird.
weird.
There's movies about that too. Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, if you're going to be raped, I guess it's better than by a ghost than by a person, you know, or an animal, even worse, you know.
Can't get pregnant, like, there's no, like, sperm, like, ghost sperm. Like, how does that work?
Well, what if you did, what if you got pregnant by a ghost and instead of the baby coming out through labor, it just kind of floats through your stomach, like the way they walk through walls? It just kind of floats in and out whenever it wants. It's like, damn, I'm half ghost. That'd be pretty crazy. But that's cool. I can see that. So you like different places. You say you haven't had sex in a cemetery. If you like doing it in weird places, where are some weird places that you actually have had sex at? Let's just say, what's the weirdest one?
Weirdest one. There's just like weird, I guess, different places that'd be more shocking. I've had sex in a church. Like it was empty, like but it was like open, and and stuff. And I've had sex in a church. It was pretty like controversial. I don't know. But I just like stuff like that, like knowing you in big public is like such a fat turn on to me.
Right, you get the little rush.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think of other. I have so many. I can't even think about them. Like there's been so many.
I've had some pretty good ones, but they're mostly standard like beaches and stuff like that. But the one, it's not sex, but various times when I was in high school, I used to date this chick. And she would always give me hand jobs in the back of her mom's car, like while her mom was driving. And I thought that was it was like all she'd have to do is look in the mirror and she can see her daughter's hand like jerking me off. You know what I mean? But I always thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was, I think her mom fucking just kind of like did the don't ask, don't tell. Like, she just kind of knew, but she was like, you know, they're kids, whatever. I don't know.
Crazy.
It was
I like
weird.
that, though, yeah. I like the ballsiness. It's hot.
Yeah, literally and figuratively. So let me ask you this. One of the reasons I wanted to have you on here is because we have this video, Toothbrush, coming out tomorrow. And one thing that I always tell you, and I mean it, I'm not just saying that to blow smoke up your ass, is that I think that you're really good at acting. And in this video, we actually, compared to the Rosanna video, I would say we did a little bit more acting. We did some dancing. So I wanted to ask you, what do you have any goals in the future to do anything besides modeling, like maybe some acting work or anything like that?
I do. I'm actually in the process of working with some film directors. So I don't know, I don't have like a date yet, but just working on short films, like in the Bay Area and stuff like that.
Nice, nice.
I'm really excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you lived down here. If you lived down here, you could probably get more work. But there is a lot of shit going on up there too.
Yeah, just way more down there though. Way more. But I will be there eventually. So
Yeah, you come down whenever you want. You know, you gotta hook me up with your friend that's down here.
I know. I can always come down there and visit you too.
Yeah, definitely. You always got a place to stay down here.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
Aw. Well, cool. Is there anything else you want to say? I don't know if you promote anything or whatever you want to do. Anything you want to tell the people?
Oh yeah. If you're not already following me on Twitter, to follow me at twitter.com/meet_Melissa, or my Instagram is meet_Melissa, MELIS.
You got to follow Melissa on Instagram, y'all. It's great. You got to follow her. If you like Melissa in the videos and you like looking at Melissa, you should definitely follow her on Instagram and follow her on Twitter. And well, it was really good talking to you, Melissa. I hope that we can do another video in the future. We might have to make it a what do they call it? Trilogy.
Yeah.
We might have to make it a trilogy.
Yeah, that sounds so good.
So the next one, one of us has to die in the video. I think. And next one, it has to be like tragedy in the next video. One of us has got to die.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Maybe we'll do like a romantic video, and at the end we'll jump off a cliff together, like we were Thelma and Louise, but not two women. I don't know.
That's so sick. I love that.
All right, cool. Well, I'll let you go. I'll let you go run your errands and buy your lingerie, and I'm sure you're going to be having a great old time later on in that lingerie. And it was really good talking to you.
Oh, of course, for sure.
All right, awesome, Melissa.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Okay.
All right, it's back to Thursday morning wax over here. God damn, I got the mic real hot. I'm gonna have to fucking do some kind of mixing on this thing when it's done. God damn, my voice sounds like fucking one of those smoker voices, man. It's starting to sound like the fucking Simpsons, the Simpsons ants, Patty and Selma, like I said earlier. But anyway, let me finish this off with some shout-outs and some questions. I didn't get to everybody's questions this week, but I did get to a bunch of them. But all the ones that I didn't get to, I'm going to search through for next week and shit like that. Shout-outs to Farrell, Colby in India, Michael in Dunkirk, Aaron the violinist, Sangwon Kim, Arthur in Seattle, Lance H., Curtis A., Jeremy from Minnesota, Marty from Estonia, George C., Scott M., Gianna, Carla the stay-at-home mom. Thanks, Carla. I really enjoyed your email, by the way. Tyler in Philly. Ryan M. with the old school party beat. Oh, yeah. Ryan M. sent me an email that also had a beat attached. And, sometimes people send me beats and they're like, yo, you should use this beat. I don't know if he was like this, but people send me beats. And it might not be something that I could use, but I just like listening to this shit. I mean, this shit he sent me was like this old school, like 90s R&B beat. It sounded like it would be the theme song for a 90s sitcom, like when they Living Single or a show like that. Like it could have been the theme song for something like that. But that shit was dope. I listened to it like 10 times, just like checking my email and bouncing. But props to you, Ryan M, Divot in Canada, Ben K in the UK as always, TJ L, and Daniel E. Let's get to some questions here. This is from Juan C. Yo, I hit you up about this on Twitter, but I hate using that shit. A lot of people hate using Twitter, and I understand. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, you ever think about doing like an internet show with guests and having fans call in and shit a la Tom Green? Seems like you do good with that shit. You could get some shit started. This was just a random idea that popped into my head while watching your podcast. You watched, well, I guess you can watch that little picture that comes up on the player. But also on Ep 2, you kind of mentioned you had a Hollywood story about meeting J. Cole. Could you talk about that on the next podcast? Now, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did tell that story, but just briefly. I was at like this big industry party. It was actually at Jimmy Iovine's house. Jimmy Iovine, like CEO or whatever of Interscope Records. And that was the craziest party I've ever been to. It's the one I told you the story where the guy greeting people at the door, shaking everybody's hands, was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I fucking lost it. That's the craziest shit that I've ever seen. Well, man, no, it's not the craziest shit I've ever seen, but it was pretty fucking crazy. But after the party, we're outside, just getting ready to leave, and fucking J. Cole walked by, and my manager said what's up to him, and introduced me to J. Cole, and J. Cole was like, "Oh shit, Wax from YouTube?" Da 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 da, and he started singing that Damian Marley melody from the new Crack video. So that was, I just thought that was cool that J. Cole knew of me just through like being some like YouTube guy. So that was kind of cool. Or maybe it's whack. I don't fucking know. But I'll take into your idea into consideration as far as the internet show. I doubt I'll ever do it, but I will take it. I will never use that idea, that great idea that you gave me. I will take it into consideration, but I will never use it. But I consider it taken into consideration. All right, thanks Juan C. This is from TJL. My mom and dad. So you must be from another country if you use the word mum, M-U-M instead of mom. I guess British probably. My mom and dad split up 3 years ago because my dad cheated on my mom with this bitch. She's fucking Slovakian and she's my dad cheated on my mom with this bitch. She's fucking Slovakian and she's 28 and my dad's 51. Hold up. Why? What's the negativity behind her being Slovakian? Is this like the thing that people in whatever country you're from, I'm assuming the UK or Ireland, is this the race of people that people are like most overtly, openly racist against? Slovakian people? I don't know what the equivalent to that would be in the United States. I can't think of like a group that people are openly racist against. Besides like on September 12th and a little while afterwards, people were pretty openly against any Middle Eastern region. But I guess there's something you don't like about Slovakians. Maybe Slovakian. I don't even that Slovakian sounds like. Is that like Slovakian almost sounds like if there was like an episode of Star Trek or something, or Battlestar Galactica, and they went to another world, they'd be like, they would encounter the Slovakians, and they'd have like weird facial features. I don't know. I'm not trying to diss Slovakians, but it's just a crazy sounding word. Well, anyway, you should get that racist idea out of your mind. Maybe you just hate Slovakians because of this chick that you probably developed a racism against Slovakians because of this young chick that your dad cheated on your mom with. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't mean, God damn, I'm an asshole. I don't mean to make this shit funny. I'm really sorry that happened to you, man. I don't know what that's like. I'm lucky enough that my parents, even today, are still together, still going strong. So I cannot relate to you at all. It's probably bad that I even chose this email to read, especially considering the fact that I'm making fun of you. She's old enough to be my sister. I'm 16, and you're young to be at that. Forget everything I said, but try not to be racist against Slovakians. All Slovakians didn't fuck your dad. Jesus. I used to do a lot with my dad, and we got along well. But as soon as she came along, everything went to shit. He does everything for her and disregards what I think, won't listen to me, doesn't care about what I do. Also, this bitch is using my dad for his money, and she does little things to piss me off, like eat my Cheetos. In parentheses, dude, my Cheetos. And drink my drinks. Also, when me and my dad argue, she laughs and enjoys it. Ah, what a cunt. I was wondering what your thoughts are and what I could do. Would appreciate any help. Love the podcast and music. You're my idol. Peace, Big Wax. Dude, first of all, I should not be your idol. I'm not. You gotta, make Martin Luther King your idol. Make Gandhi your idol. you know, I should not be your idol. I'm fucking not the kind of person you should idolize, although I do appreciate that. Man, there's nothing, I can't relate to this because my parents are still together, but I can relate. I read a question on last week's podcast. I can relate to like the girl just coming in and fucking, basically fucking make that your dad is basically whipped. He's pussy whipped, you know, and she probably is killing it too. She probably puts it on him. Considering she's 28 and your dad's 51 and he just got out of a long relationship. I mean, he has a 16-year-old son. You say you have I don't know. She said she's old enough to be my sister. I don't know how many kids your mom and dad had together, but I mean, this dude's been on, you know, he's been on like married life pussy for years, and now he's got this 28-year-old Slovakian chick who's probably fucking fucking sucking his dick while fucking twiddling his balls and licking his inner thighs and fucking just putting it on him. Shit that he hadn't had since he was 28. So what I will say to you, man, is this, TJ, this is probably going to be just a short phase. This is probably not something that's going to last. And I think that the main thing, like in all seriousness, I think what you should do is when your dad's alone, you just got to let him know how you feel as his son, man. If he loves you, he'll understand, and I'm sure he does love you as your dad. But you guys got to be honest with him and let him know without being like, Dad, what are you doing with this fucking bitch, the cunt, whatever. Just be honest about it. Be like, Dad, you know, recently things haven't been the same. You know, what happened to us going playing catch in the backyard with the football? Well, you're from Britain, so what happened to us playing cricket in the backyard, Dad? You know, what happened to when you used to take me to eat fucking baked beans for breakfast or whatever you guys do? When was the last time? Whatever. I'm sorry to hear about that for real, TJ, and I hope that helped at all. It probably didn't. Let's see. Mitchell in Ohio. Mitchell is basically saying, you've met a lot of people in your life. How have you just been yourself and not acted like someone, quote-unquote, cooler to win them over? He had a long email before that, and he's basically saying that when he gets around people that he doesn't know, he becomes a different guy. He's not confident, and he's more shy. I just wanted to read this real quick to just let Mitchell in Ohio know that almost all of us are like that, man. This isn't like some problem that you're alone with. Like, I mean, I'm like that to this day. Like, with my boys, I'm mad comfortable and I say whatever I want. And then when you get in a situation where there's all these people you don't know, I don't even like being in those situations. Like, I don't like to go to parties where I don't know anybody. You know, some people are good at that shit. Some people are good at schmoozing and talking and making small talk. For me, I just want to get the fuck out of there and go to where my friends are and do whatever. But there's no real way to get over it besides just fucking grabbing your nuts and walking into a conversation and saying whatever the fuck you think, or maybe have a couple shots. I don't know, drink a beer or something. But there's really no like nothing I can tell you to get over that anxiety. You know, you just gotta. It's just something we all gotta deal with, and yeah. So that probably didn't help either, but it's all good. Thanks for the email, Mitchell. I appreciate it, man. This is kind of I'll just read it. I put all these emails in my whatever. Boring. That in itself was boring, so that's kind of a double entendre right there. But all right, fucking what's up, Wax? I've been listening. He praises me at the beginning. I don't want to fucking read that because you guys already think I fucking am over here jerking off while looking in a mirror. Anyways, to the main point, there's a girl who, this is from Evan C. To the main point, there's a girl who I really like, but I get awkward and weird around her, and this always happens to me when I'm into a certain girl. I'm really shitty because I'm pretty funny and not like bad looking. When I'm with girls I don't give a shit about, I can be myself and get them to like me pretty easy. It's frustrating. I was just wondering if you had any tips for being able to act the way I normally do. Now, this is pretty much the same question as the last question. God, I didn't know that. I didn't really realize that. But except you're talking about talking to girls, and this guy's talking about, the other guy was talking about just like being around new people and shit. And there's no way you can get around that, man. You know, with the girls thing, there are some dudes that are just like real slick like that and really good with talking to the ladies and hitting on them. And I think that it's really just about getting over your fear of rejection. Because to be one of those guys, you just gotta throw a bunch of fucking fish hooks out there and just find the one that bites. You know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm fucking some ladies, man. I'm not the kind of dude that goes to a bar and hits on chicks and then goes home with chicks. Like, that shit happens much more randomly for me. I've never been like that. I mean, once I get my little game going, I'm clever and witty. But, you know, it's like, I will tell you this. The key, the answer is in the question. You said when you're around girls you don't really care about, you're fine. But when you're around girls that you like, let's just say when you're around a girl that you want to fuck, you get awkward. And that makes sense because the part of your body that, your hormones and the part of your body that like is into sex and shit is now doing the talking. Whereas with people, when you're with girls that you're not really thinking about fucking, like it's just you're just having a conversation like it's one of your friends and you're cracking jokes and all that shit. So one of the keys to talking to women that you want to fuck is to try to talk to them as if you didn't want to fuck them. Like, don't fucking think about, and it's almost impossible to do that. Like, when you're at a place and this girl, like, you're like, God damn, the things I would do to her, to get those things out of your mind and approach her at the same time, it's hard to do, but that's like, you know, something you got to try to do. So, that's what I got to say about that. This one's from Bjorn in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I appreciate the praise. I'm glad you like Stupefied, man. I like that song, too. Glad you're feeling that. If you could switch places with anyone for a week, who would you choose? President, celebrity, a real person? I thought it'd be interesting to hear your response. I can't say enough. I appreciate that, man. And, you know, I shouldn't have read this question because I did no pre-thought. I didn't think of a person who I would want to be. So I'll just think of somebody real quick. Who would I want to be for a week? It definitely would not be the president because, like I said last week, I think that'd be a fucking terrible, stressful thing to be. I would be, you know who I'd be for a week just to see what it's like? I'd be a porn guy. Not like a porn guy that's pretty well up there that only does the hot chicks. I wouldn't want to do anything that involved another dude in the scene, but I'm just curious to see how good I'd be at it. Like, I'm just curious. Like, I'd like to see how good I would be at doing that because I actually think that those guys are talented, man. To be able to, you know, to hold back, so to speak, to have all those people around you and still perform and all that shit. I think that's talented. I think it's talented, and I'd like to find out, just out of curiosity, if I could do that. So I definitely wouldn't want to do it for a long time. I'd actually rather just do that for one day, even just one scene. But yeah, I don't think I could do that all the time. It would kind of cheapen sex. Like, how can you be a porn star and then go home to get like your wife and she's like, or if you're a woman, go home to your man. Actually, I knew a dude I talked about on the podcast before that dated a porn star, and she came home a couple times with cum in her hair. And it's like, you got to console her. Like he said, sometimes she'd come home upset because some guy's dick was too big when they were doing a double penetration scene, and she's like, "Oh, like, hold me, my asshole hurts." It's like, dude, are you serious? But what's this one? God damn. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. This one is from Mike. I called you Mike. Is that what you wanted? Are you happy now? That was all in caps. Sorry I lost my temper up there. Anyways, I got a question for you, but it comes with a little story. I'll try to keep it short. I've been smoking weed for a while, and my older brother wanted to try, so I smoked him up, and it was all good. My mom started sniffing him about it and asking me questions about it, and I didn't say anything because that's what a brother does, right? Right. He got caught. It was shitty, but we were still good. A few months later, my mom started getting on me about it, but didn't actually know I was smoking. Just suspicious. Well, she asked my brother about it, and not only did he tell her, he showed her my pipe, told her I was smoking with my stepbrothers, and that I was smoking with my best friend, Liam. You are also not from the United States if you have a friend named Liam. I'm not allowed to see either of them now. Well, it's been about 3 or 4 months since all this, and well, I guess I kind of held a grudge because I have not talked to him since. I know I should get over it, but I care about the people I'm not allowed to see anymore a lot. But I kind of miss the friendship I had with my brother, too. I can understand that, man. But it's been really awkward between us, and I don't know how to fix this. Any advice on how I can fix this bullshit? Thanks a lot, man. I think that's an interesting email. I think that you should just talk to your brother about it honestly, man. No, but he snitched on you, and that's fucked up. But I think in this particular case, maybe he just has an idea in his head that you getting high and weed in general and stuff like that is just a bad thing. Maybe he thinks that this is leading down to a path where he doesn't like. You know, he wants the best. He probably did this because he wants the best for you. Like he wants you to live a good life. He doesn't he might think that, and who knows? I don't know you. Maybe this is the case, but he thinks you're gonna get in with the wrong crowd, start getting fucked up, start slipping on your grades, and all of a sudden you don't want to live in the house. You run away from the house, and all of a sudden you're in the slums down there in fucking Glasgow or wherever you live with if your friend is Liam. You might, let's say you live down there in Brighton or whatever, or Liverpool or somewhere in the UK, and you're fucking all of a sudden you're in Liverpool, and the Beatles used to play there, and now you're living underneath of the fucking club where they used to play at, underneath of fucking the London Times or what. All right, forget everything I just said. I've never been to the UK. I don't know the name of their main newspaper. I know that their main news source is the BBC. But forget everything I just said. My point is, I was trying to fucking paint a picture of you going and going and going deeper and deeper and deeper into despair while in the UK, but without any background knowledge, I can't really give you the details. But my point is, your brother doesn't want to see you on the fucking curb in Liverpool with your fucking, just you fucking begging for pounds. And when I say pounds, I don't mean daps with somebody's fist. I mean the currency that you use in that country. And you're just begging. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want that to happen to you. He wants you to have a good life. So he's doing it out of love. So just approach him, and he'll probably tell you that. And one thing you got to forgive him, man. So thanks. That was fucking terrible. You're probably not even. I based that whole thing on the fact that you have a friend named Liam. Like you can't be in any country and have a friend named Liam. But send me an email back, by the way. I'm now curious where you're from. I'll just read a couple more of these. I only have a couple more, real quick ones. This is from Ryan from New Jersey. Last year I went to your show at Webster Hall in New York around New Year's. The show was awesome, and me and my boys got to meet you before you left. Thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. My question is, what do you do after you perform? I mean, New York has a lot to offer. Yes, it does. But what about when you're in a smaller city? You have a certain routine to unwind afterwards, or do you guys just rage all night every time? I'll answer this real quick. This past tour that me and EOM were on, me and EOM and my boy Frank did the tour. Frank was, the tour manager basically and helped with the merch and everything like that. The last tour we were on, we were an opening act. We were an opening act for Hoodie Allen, and we got off stage every night. And Hoodie Allen has a much younger crowd, so like the shows were all early. So we were off the stage by like 9:30 every night. So on that particular tour, we did in fact rage every fucking night. Pretty much every night we hung out with random fans and just partied, drank, So on this past tour, yes, and that was a short tour. It was probably like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. And if you were doing a long 6-month tour, it'd be really hard to keep up that lifestyle and rage every night like that, especially if you're the singer and you have to still have your voice. But in New York there is a million things to do, and I've played there a bunch of times, and every time I've done something. That time in particular, I actually was hanging out I hung out at this, like, one of those New York, I'm not even going to go into that, but, I do often rage after shows, especially the ones that are worth celebrating. In small towns, sometimes you just go back to the hotel, sometimes you just try to find some people to hang out with. Appreciate the email, Ryan. This one is from Matt. I'm glad you like that Pandora station, man. It's great. It's great that you like that. Another thing, I've been with my girlfriend for over a year. I'm 17 and she's 16. And just recently she decided she doesn't like giving head anymore. Has this ever happened to you? Do you think she will eventually grow out of not wanting to go down there? Or I am just going to have to deal with not getting head for a while. I really love her and planning on staying with her through college, granted we go to the same school. That's from Matt, and I'm just going to say this real quick. No matter what, if you're in a relationship for a long time, things sexually are going to get a little bit less fucking spontaneous, because new things in general or just feel good. And second of all, if you're 17 and she's 16, I wouldn't even think that far into the future as far as staying with her through college. I know you love her and everything. I had a girlfriend like that exactly, and when I was exactly your age, I fucking loved her. I thought we were gonna stay together forever. But don't rule out the possibilities that maybe you're just 17 and she's 16 and it might not be forever. But that being said, a lot of like high school sweethearts and whatnot live together till they're 90. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I just never found the right one. But I remember one of the longest relationship I was in. This girl was kind of a freak, and like when we first started going out, she would always give me roadhead. She would always just randomly, she would just fucking, I wouldn't ask, she'd just do it, and it was incredible. And that would happen like probably once every 2 weeks. And then it started happening once a month, and blah, blah, blah. And then it just never happened again. You know, the last 2 years, there was no such thing as that. And she would probably laugh at me if I asked for it. And she'd probably just give me one of those, like, please. Like one of those bitch please faces. So it's just something you're going to have to deal with. I mean, you know, you might just have to kind of force the issue every once in a while if you want. If you know, you might just have to, like, you know, when she wakes up from her nap, just kind of have your penis right by her face. And be like, look at this. What are you going to do? Something like that. All right, a couple more things, man. Sangwon Kim. You seem like a down-to-earth type dude. I've always found it. Thanks, man. I appreciate the support. Wait, you always make it a point to reply or tell your fans that you appreciate their support. I just fucking said that to you. In the exact... Maybe I say I appreciate that too much because it starts to sound hollow if I just say the same thing every time. I don't know. But it got me thinking that a lot of musicians slash athletes or anyone marginally famous doesn't seem to care too much about their fans except when they're trying to sell them something. It's like they feel they're above their fans. So is it a pain in the ass and annoying to deal with your fans? I mean, the world is filled with nutsos, so you must have some stories of fans crossing that line. Well, I'm not really like, I mean, if you're... You know, like when Eminem did that song where he was in the bathroom and the guy, he said, I can't even take I can't remember the exact line, but he can't even go into a public bathroom, take a fucking piss or shit without somebody trying to get an autograph and shit. I've never experienced that because I'm not like, you know, I got fans, but I have like a niche group of fans. Like when I go to the grocery store, nobody recognizes me and shit like that. So I don't really know that yet. I don't really have any crazy fan stories like that. You know, I'm still at the point where, like, if somebody fucking likes me and wants to take a photo or hug me or something like that, I'm just excited that people know who the fuck I am and people enjoy the music and everything like that. So I'd have to answer that question at a later date to even let you know that. But as far as people that get famous and they seem like they don't care about their fans and they seem like they're trying to set up a barrier, I mean, you gotta understand, man. Look at like that Eminem thing was a perfect example. Like these people have lives too, you know. Like, I mean, shit. Look at best example, John Lennon. His fucking fan killed him. You know what I'm saying? Got killed by one of his fans. Dimebag Darrell from Pantera killed by a fucking fan. So like there are, like you said, there are nutsos out there, and you have to create that line sometimes. Like, you know, some of these Hollywood people, like, you know, they don't embrace like the whole social media and Twitter world because all they want is privacy. Like these people, you know, like Ryan, my friend Ryan Philippi, like when he goes places, motherfuckers are taking pictures of him, and I can see how that would get annoying. And you gotta create some kind of barrier if you want to live any kind of normal life. But everybody looks at it differently. P.S. What do you think of the new Kendrick Lamar Good Kid Mad City album? I fucking love that album. I fucking have been, the last few days, you know, I was a little late, because, you know, in this day and age, like, if you don't fucking know it, if you don't listen to it the day it comes out, you're just like, late pass, but I fucking love that album. It's a great album. One of the best rap albums I've heard in a very long time. Alright, one more question. This is from Dan. Hey, Mr. Mike Jones. Who? You're probably not going to read my worthless writing, but fuck it. B-U-T-T-F-U-C-K. Haha, gay joke. I don't get it. Love your music for more reason than most. I listen to it when I am at the edge, and by the edge I mean at my lowest point of my depression. Unfortunately, I was born with hereditary depression, causing me some serious problems. mostly with communication. At the moment, I am 16 years old, and to this point, I have attempted suicide 3 times without success. Jesus. Since I have been fully upfront with my sadness with myself, I have not been able to talk to my parents and others much. This fucking horrible disease has physically ruined me, from self-harm and from ruining my immune system. Besides the physical part, it has ruined my self-worth, self-confidence, and most of all, hope. But when I listen to your music, be it doing damage, and I feel like someone else out there knows how it feels and knows how to go on every day, and I think I can, or be it party and the beats and rhymes are actually making me nod my head and smile for once in my hopeless day. Your music makes my life better. Thank you so much, Mike, from Janny. Well, first of all, Janny, I really appreciate the email, man. I'm really glad that the music makes you feel good. I definitely know what it's like to be depressed. I don't know what it's like to be like depressed. Hereditary depression I don't know about, but I've definitely had time periods in my life where I've definitely that feeling that you can't get rid of the depression. You wake up and you just don't want to fucking get out of bed, and you just you don't see any value in your own life. I've actually had that, last year I had a very long spell of depression. I couldn't write nothing. There's been a couple times. I'm not the kind of person that's been depressed all through my life, but I've had periods of depression. Some of them have been put on by an incident, and some of them are just kind of random, and I can't really put my finger on it. But I know what it feels like to fucking have that feeling where you have no self-confidence, and you don't get anything done because you don't fucking think, and you think, like, what's the point? What the fuck's the point? It's you just can't, you're like, your self-worth is fucked. I've never attempted suicide, and I can't believe that at 16 you have attempted it 3 times. I think that if music makes you feel good, fucking listen to that shit 24/7, man. Find some fucking artists that you like. Find some uplifting music. Email me again. I can send you some shit that got me through rough times. Amy Winehouse, man. When I was in a rough period, when that fucking Back to Black album came out, I felt like she was talking about me in that album. And email me again. I can suggest you some music that can help. Search it out for yourself. But it's just logical. If you find something that makes you feel good, get more of that shit. What I would recommend is fucking, if you already have depression and you're 16, stay away from a fucking relationship, man. Don't get into a long-term relationship, and don't fucking fall in love for a while, because that shit'll fuck you up. Don't fucking fall in love with a girl, because if you guys break up and you're already a depressed person, and then that gets on top of it, and then you have a couple drinks, and then your friend's like, yo, I have a gun. Oh, God, that's fucking terrible to say. But I'm saying, my point is, these bitches, like, a lot of people, I've known people that have killed themselves because of that, and it's fucking sad. So don't get in a relationship. I wouldn't recommend drinking a lot, especially, a lot of times that happens too when you don't think the same way when you're intoxicated. And it only takes one click of a fucking trigger, or one, whatever the methods of killing yourself are, one time to take that overdose of pills or jump off a building or whatever you do. People don't really jump off buildings anymore, huh? People, it's not like a way of suicide that people, it seems like kind of an old school way. Like, people got more sophisticated ways now. They probably got like pills that they know how to take. I don't know. If I was going to commit suicide, I would just do a fucking ridiculous amount of some kind of drug that makes you not feel anything. But I would never commit suicide, and nobody should ever commit suicide, man. That's what my new album, which, dude, don't kill yourself, because at least wait for January 15th. Wait for January 15th before you try it again. But in all seriousness, the thesis statement behind me calling my album Continue is really, throughout your life, you really have 2 options. You have 2 options at all times. You can kill yourself, or you can continue. It's as simple as that. You just fucking roll with the punches. You take what life gives you. You learn from your mistakes, and then you just fucking keep living. And then sometimes good shit happens to you that makes it all worth it. Like when I was Try to recognize some beautiful shit, man. Take more. It's so much easier said than done. But first of all, that fucking voice inside of your head that tells you all this negative shit, that's not you. That's just some fucking weird voice. And try to replace that voice with this voice that only searches out positive shit. Like, it's just fucking smell the roses. Like, if you see a fucking cute pet puppy, go pet the motherfucker for a long time. Fucking look at its little cute little face and fucking enjoy it. If you have a little brother and he does something, like he fucking, go to his fucking baseball game. You know what I'm saying? Do shit like that, man. Just focus on the positive. Focus on the upbeat things. You know what I mean? So that's my advice for you. If you want to know some more good music to get you through the rough shit, hit me back. Anybody can hit me, beatsforwax@gmail.com. Send me some beats, send me some questions. And that's the podcast for this week, y'all. Go check out my video and all that. And be safe out there.